My friend, you won't believe this. A trade could be poised to shake up the NFL scene and involve one of our most promising young talents, Doraider. The versatile guard, who can play multiple positions, is on the radar of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who urgently need reinforcements. I got some juicy inside information straight from the sidelines, and what I'm about to tell you hasn't appeared on any news outlet yet. So, my friend, if you truly love the Raiders, leave a like and subscribe, because this is going to be fire. It's no longer just a rumor. The Las Vegas Raiders and Pittsburgh Steelers may actually be close to finalizing a deal before the NFL's 2025 trade deadline. The Steelers are in the playoff race and desperately need offensive reinforcements. The Raiders, on the other hand, are out of playoff contention and may be ready to trade pieces and build time for the future. One name that connects the two teams? Jackson Powers Johnson. At just 22 years old, the former Oregon star was drafted by Las Vegas in the second round of 2024 to be a long-term pillar on the offensive line. But things haven't gone as planned. With Pete Carroll now in charge, the Raiders' blocking schemes have changed. Powers Johnson, who spent most of his college career as a center, has struggled to find his rhythm. Consistent play. He was even benched in Week 7 against the Chiefs, a decision that surprised the entire league. According to Josh Liskiewicz, an analyst for Pro Football Focus, Powers Johnson is exactly the type of player the Steelers love. Young, tough, and versatile. The Raiders could be a logical trade partner, he wrote. Powers Johnson can play center or guard, and Pittsburgh needs depth on the inside offensive line. The Steelers' offensive line has been unstable. Veteran guard Isaac Sumalo left the loss to the Packers with a chest injury, and while he's expected to play, his fitness is uncertain. That's why Pittsburgh is exploring options, and Powers Johnson's combination of strength and flexibility could be the ideal solution. For Las Vegas, trading him would make sense. The Raiders invested a high draft pick in Powers Johnson, but if he's not part of Carroll's long-term plans, trading him for a valuable mid-draft pick could help them. The team is also looking to strengthen other areas, especially at the wide receiver position, where competition is starting to get fierce. Still, Powers Johnson's potential cannot be denied. Scouts believe he has the tools to become a reliable starter in the NFL, and a change of scenery could unlock all that talent. The Steelers have a history of developing veteran linemen, and their coaching staff is intrigued by his raw power and football intelligence. As an insider said this week, Las Vegas isn't selling, it's restructuring. Trading Powers Johnson wouldn't signal a residency. It would demonstrate smart roster management as the Raiders look to remain competitive while also winning easily for 2026. The deadline is approaching, and both sides have strong reasons to finalize a trade. For Pittsburgh, it's about protecting their quarterback and promoting the offense. For Las Vegas, it's about leveraging market value and keeping the roster balanced for the future. And while the Steelers analyze the line, offensively, we can't forget that there's another player who could shake up the trade market. Wide receiver Jacobe Meyers, who is also being targeted by several teams. Although the Las Vegas Raiders remained silent during an off-season, that doesn't mean the phone lines have been silent. In fact, two teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills, have already reached out to discuss a possible trade for wide receiver Jacobe Meyers, according to Deanna Rossini of The Athletic. And here's the twist. Meyers himself reportedly requested a trade earlier this season. While the Raiders would prefer to keep him, they made one thing clear. They will only trade him for the right price. Sources say Las Vegas wants at least a third-round pick, maybe even more. Anything less than that wouldn't make sense, as they could receive a compensatory fourth-round pick if Meyers goes free. It's a bold position, but one that reflects how much Meyers still means to the organization. After all, he was one of the Raiders' most reliable targets last season, posting career-best numbers. But this year, things aren't working the same way. The arrival of new head coach Pete Carroll and quarterback Geno Smith brought a different offensive rhythm, one that seems to favor younger, faster receivers. And that's where Trey Tucker comes into the story. The 2023 draft pick has become one of the biggest surprises of the season. At just 23 years old, Tucker now leads the time with 389 catches and has developed impressive chemistry with Smith. His explosiveness has caught the attention of the entire league. Coach Pete Carroll didn't hold back on praise, saying, "He's been our most efficient player. We expected him to be a threat on long passes, and he's been that and much more." Wide receivers coach Chris Beatty echoed this sentiment. "He works like a veteran. He pays attention to detail and wants to learn every day." Until quarterback Geno Smith saw it. When asked about Tucker, he suggested and said, "That kid is a problem in there. He runs 32 miles per hour in every practice. That's why he plays so fast. He practices faster than anybody." For Meyers, however, this new dynamic may be driving him to seek an exit. His targets have dwindled, his production has dropped, and the Raiders' offense seems to be developing around the connection between Smith and Tucker. This doesn't mean Meyers has lost value, not for long. Teams like Pittsburgh and Buffalo see him exactly as the kind of reliable, route-savvy receiver who can help a team aiming for the playoffs right now. Still, Las Vegas isn't desperate. Pete Carroll's front office knows that trading Meyers for less than his market value would be a rash decision. The Raiders want to build a long-term identity, not just make a quick trade. If a deal happens, it will be because another team meets his demands, because we're not eager to get rid of him. But even with Meyers on their radar, the Raiders can't lose focus on the field. The upcoming challenge against the Jaguars could show who will truly stand out in the second half of the season. The Las Vegas Raiders are returning to the field after a bye week, and all eyes are on Pete Carroll's team's performance. Their first test of the second half of the season, a tough home game against the Jacksonville Jaguars at Allegiant Stadium. But here's the twist that could change everything. Jaguars star Travis Hunter is out of the game due to an injury sustained in practice last week, and that absence could be the biggest advantage the Raiders have had all year. Hunter isn't just another player, he's a game changer. Known for his versatility and elite coverage skills, he's been the heart of Jacksonville's defense and an increasingly important part of their offensive rotation. Losing him means the Jaguars are missing a crucial piece on both sides of the ball, and that's exactly where Las Vegas needs to step up. This game could be a turning point for the Raiders' offense. Geno Smith and wide receiver Trey Tucker have been demonstrating incredible chemistry in recent weeks, and now, without Hunter patrolling the secondary, the long passing game can finally open up. Expect offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb to test Jacksonville's backup cornerbacks early on, using Tucker's dazzling speed and Jacobe Meyers' precise routes to stretch the field. Coach Pete Carroll commented on Hunter's absence earlier this week, saying, "They lose at least 1.5 players when he's out. He's a dynamic player, but that doesn't change how we prepare. We're going to attack whoever they put on the field." And that's the right mindset. The Raiders can't afford to play cautiously. This is the time to unleash their key players, to show that all the preparation during the bye week is paying off. The offensive line, regardless of whether Jackson Powers-Johnson remains on it or not, will need to protect Geno Smith long enough for those big plays to develop. If they succeed, the Raiders may finally find the rhythm that has eluded them all season. But the key isn't just on offense. The defense also needs to capitalize on Hunter's absence on the other side. Without him creating disadvantages for the opposing defense and executing special plays for Jacksonville, the Jaguars' offense becomes more predictable. This gives Max Crosby and the quarterback pressure a golden opportunity to pressure the opponent from the first snap. Carroll emphasized discipline this week, focusing on minimizing penalties and missed tackles, the same problems that plagued Las Vegas before the bye week. "We had time to regroup," Carroll said. "Now it's time to execute plays well and finish drives. We showed flashes of talent. Now we need to put all the pieces together. This matchup represents more than just a win. It's about identity. The Raiders want to prove they can adapt, adjust, and dominate when the opportunity arises." Raiders fans, what do you think? Should Las Vegas trade Jackson Powers-Johnson or Jacobe Meyers to build a team for the future? Or keep the roster intact and seek a significant victory against the Jaguars this weekend? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Raiders news.